So yesterday, the Supreme Court rendered a verdict on two matters touching on Gachagua. In the first application, Gachagua sought to block the High Court from hearing his case, and in the second application, the National Assembly sought to dismiss the very appeal by Rigathi Gachagua to the Supreme Court. And these are the findings that the Supreme Court, based on the consolidated applications, reached. And I quote, Number 1, the first omnibus application by Honorable Gachagua is dismissed for the reasons that the Supreme Court can only stay proceedings before the Court of Appeal and not the High Court as prayed for. The appeal by the National Assembly is not one that was capable of summarily being dismissed and warrants determination on merit. And the documents sought to be expunged are integral to the determination of the appeal before the Supreme Court and were referred to both the High Court and the Court of Appeal in their determination of the dispute. Number 2, the second application by the National Assembly is dismissed for the reason that the cross appeal by Honorable Gachagua equally does not fall within the parameters of summary dismissal. Accordingly, the Supreme Court dismisses both applications with no orders as to costs. Now, what does this finding mean moving forward? That's what I want us to look into in this video, and so with no further ado, let's get after it. Number 1, we currently have 40 cases challenging the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, and what the Supreme Court is saying is that it will not halt or interfere with the High Court reaching a determination on the matter before them. And the basis for saying that is the fact that they can only handle cases which emanate from the Court of Appeal. That much we understand, and we can argue it's a valid point. But on the flip side, the question is, why on earth would Gachagua not want his case to be heard by the High Court? The reason is simple. If one is yet to exhaust the avenues of appeal, he or she is still eligible to vie for office. So if this matter was delayed and heard after 2027, Gachagua would technically still be on the ballot. But if a determination is made beforehand by the High Court, Court of Appeal, and ultimately the Supreme Court, as was the case for Mike Sonko in 2022, then all is lost. In fact, just listening to Riggy explaining this phenomenon himself.
John Weluke, the MP for Sirisia, was convicted and jailed for 74 years, okay, before the elections, okay? He filed an appeal before the High Court. When the elections came, the law is very clear that the Constitution guarantees your right to vie for elective office, even if you have been convicted, if you have not exhausted the remedies available in law, okay? Rigathi Gachagua has a matter before the High Court. It has not even been heard. It needs to go to the High Court, Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, until the Supreme Court says Rigathi Gachagua was impeached properly. If the Supreme Court opposed my impeachment, then I cannot run. Okay. It has not. The High Court has not. The Court of Appeal has not. Until that has happened, Rigathi Gachagua remains free to vie for office. And I don't want to discuss.
So yes, the Supreme Court seems to be very much in Kasongo's pocket, and they are hurriedly trying to bury Gachagua legally ahead of his 2027 presidential bid. Now, is all lost? No. If Gachagua's legal counsel wants to keep stalling proceedings, they actually can. Reason being, we even yet to reach a determination on whether the illegal bench empaneled by Philomena Mwilu is valid. So we can also play those games and deliver Gachagua to the ballot box if we want. And kikiumana, if the people so please, we can rise up and say, no Gachagua, no elections. And you'll have to bow down to the will of the people. In fact, hata Kalonzo ashaanza kuitisha mic check 1-2 ya maandamano, just listening to this.
Nchi wenyewe wanasema Riggy alituambia ukweli. Hao watu wanaiba pesa zetu za masomo yetu na kuja kuharibu hapa. Nimeona hata mtu awaria hapa. Kwa hivyo maandamano yatatoka Mandera mpaka Kisumu. Wangapi wako tayari?
So long story short, there's nothing that has changed much for Rigathi Gachagua. This ruling, all it did was adjust the speed and momentum of these cases. Because you see, if the Supreme Court halted the High Court from hearing the matter, for sure, this issue would have been heard probably after 2027 when Gachagua was a candidate, maybe he's even a sitting Prime Cabinet Secretary, sitting Deputy President, or even a sitting President. But because they've refused to halt it, they can jump pack it through the High Court and they can consolidate it into one ruling. Court of Appeal ichukue in one day waamue, next week they hand it over to the Supreme Court. It's they're basically trying to rush it through. And that's what the National Assembly is seeking. Because the moment they saw Gachagua going to the Supreme Court, they also filed theirs to stop Gachagua's appeal to the Supreme Court. It's a battle for time. It's 535 days to the next election, and kuna watu wako na tumbo joto sana, specifically the Kasongo group. They don't want Kalonzo on the ballot. They don't want Gachagua on the ballot. They don't want Matiang'i on the ballot. Kama nyinyi ni wanaume, simungoje tu yule mtapewa. Mbio ni ya nini? Unless of course you know you're going to go nowhere and you are predestined to lose the 2027 elections. But having said that, guys, that's just my opinion. What say you? Do drop me your comments in the section below and I'll do my best to read them and to give you a response. So with that, here today's ads of the day. If you're looking to import clean cars from Japan, UK, Thailand, Australia or South Africa, look no farther from Manani Imports. We're talking 15 years in the game with thousands of positive reviews. Now here's the interesting bit. Manani Imports have experts who will carefully load your car into a sealed container, receive it at the port, counter-check quality, and ultimately deliver to your doorstep. Customer service can't get any better than this, and guess what? It's all at an affordable rate. To get started on your journey to own a clean automobile, call or WhatsApp Manani Imports at 0793 687 678 or visit their social handles on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok at Manani Imports. If you're in need of electrical wiring, solar installation, or electrical fittings such as strip lights, snake lights, downlighters, or chandeliers, contact Engineer Wycliffe at 0707 476602 and he'll get your house dapped up. Now, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.